Greetings viewers, and welcome back to Just Short of Fantastic. It is November and everything feels meh. I want to say awful, but I can't because that would neglect all of the wonderful gifts and messages that I received from friends and family for my birthday. But this birthday was a really emotional experience, and not just because gestures vaguely at everything, but because it was another reminder of everyone and everything that I have lost this year. And I try not to make a habit of dwelling on my losses, but I have been thinking about this a lot, and I really feel that it is important for me to acknowledge this sense of loss and how it has impacted me. So, feel free to stop watching now if you'd rather not follow me down this rabbit hole of emotional vulnerability. My Uncle Billy, the family member that I was closest to outside my immediate family, passed away in January of 2019, and I went a little bit crazy. Aside from mourning him and grieving for the future that we would never have, I was filled with anxieties about my own lifestyle choices, and I doubled down on making connections and forcing relationships that were not meant to be, and I ended up hurting people that I really care about, and that hurt came back to me in lasting and powerful ways, which made me ask a lot of hard self-reflection questions. Don't get me wrong, I have always been fiercely independent. I love being alone. But after my uncle died, the weight of that lifestyle felt unbearably heavy. Heavier than I could handle with my existing relationships, which were maintained exclusively online. Bad decisions were made, people were hurt. And then COVID entered stage right and sent all of my fears of being alone and all of my long-held anxieties surrounding isolation into overdrive. So I've been spending a lot of time on self-reflection and not wanting to repeat those past mistakes. I've been trying really hard to break out of negative patterns, and instead of forcing relationships, I realized that I really just need to work on being lonely alone. Just acknowledging and accepting that loneliness is a normal part of the human experience and being okay with it. And it's not something to run away from by making bad decisions and hurting the people you care about. So coming back to my birthday, last year, to distract myself from the loss and anxiety, I overscheduled myself with a 4-day trip to St. Albans in England before turning around and going straight into a Halloween cultural event with our 6-month program trainees. I literally went from the airport to the office, and I had everything planned down to the minute. And then on my actual birthday, I had a large gathering for shabu shabu before going out for Noribon. And this year, I had none of that. No whirlwind travel, abroad or local, no 6-month program events, not even shabu shabu because that restaurant closed down, or Noribon because coronavirus. So in the weeks leading up to the 31st, I was in a fog. I was dreading the approaching date, and I was unwilling to make any plans at all. One, because this year's ongoing MO of cancel, postpone has really left me depressed and unmotivated in terms of event planning. And two, because it simply wouldn't feel right celebrating without all the friends that left Korea back in August. Because in all honesty, I'm still grieving for those losses, and due to COVID policy, there have been no replacements for teachers who have left Korea this year, and that is a whole other story. So this year, I just chatted with my family and had a small luncheon with 2 of my friends here in Yosu, and then I spent the rest of the day dealing with my feelings of loss and my loneliness. There were Halloween parties that I could have attended, but I want to be a responsible and safe individual during a global pandemic, and also my heart just wasn't in them. I knew that they would just be a distraction from all of the emptiness that I'm feeling inside. When you lose someone close to you, it makes special events really hard. My birthday is hard now, in ways that it was never hard before, and I have conflicting emotions that I expect I will continue to feel in the next few years, if not for the rest of my life. And that's okay. I have always relished the fact that my birthday is on Halloween, and the true spirit of Halloween isn't to dress up or go to parties or eat loads of candy. It's to acknowledge the spiritual world and to honor the spirits of the dead. So this year for Halloween, I made a chai latte, and I went up to my rooftop and I looked at the full moon, and I remembered all of the great times that I had with my Uncle Billy, and I said goodbye to him again, and I said goodbye to my Aunt Lynn, who also died this year in April from cancer. And that was my 34th Halloween birthday. It kind of sucked, but next year is another chance to have a better experience. I know I wasn't the only one whose life was put on hold or whose plans were disrupted this year. I guess the point of this vlog is to say it's okay to give yourself the time and space you need to sit with your grief that this year has generated for all of us. And I don't really know how to move forward except by acknowledging it, accepting it, being kind to ourselves, and being kind to others. I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to those who reached out to me and helped me overcome my worst feelings of anxiety and loneliness. Thank you. I love you. We're in this together. The next vlog will be another Paddington Presents adventure, something light and whimsical after all of this heavy stuff, I promise. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay just short of fantastic.